Friday, the 8th of June 2018, 7:55 London. Alliance News. Stocks in London are set to open in the red on Friday, tracking markets in Asia lower as the G7 summit in Canada gets underway. IG says futures indicate the FTSE 100 index of large caps to open 29.40 points down 7,675.00 on Friday. The FTSE 100 index closed off 0.1% at 7,704.40 on Thursday. Given the quiet economic calendar today, the continuing trade spat between the U.S. and its closet allies will attract a good deal of attention as the G7 summit begins. The broader U.S. market posted its first loss in 5 days as the recent equity rally, and more specifically tech rally, faltered, whilst investors started to show unease over the potential climate at the G7 summit. Souring investor sentiment resulted in a softer session for Asia and indicates a weaker start for Europe on the open, says London Capital's Jasper Lawler. The meeting of G7 leaders at Charlevoix, Quebec, Canada starts on Friday and continues into Saturday. U.S. President Donald Trump heads to Quebec touting an America First agenda which hits U.S. trading partners with trade tariffs and threatens multilateral free trade deals. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow said Wednesday that Trump would not back down from the tough line he has taken on trade. Trump will meet French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Theresa May and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as well as leaders from Germany, Italy, Japan at the G7 summit. The trade deficit between the U.S. and China, which Trump has long criticized, continued to grow in May, Chinese customs data showed Friday. The U.S.-China trade deficit in May was $24.6 billion United States dollars, about $2.4 billion United States dollars larger than in April, and also higher compared to the same period last year. Trump has pressed China to slash the trade deficit, which reached $375 billion United States dollars last year. Additionally, Trump wants to curb Beijing's state support for high-tech firms and alleged intellectual property theft. Traders will be paying attention to see if any progress is made regarding trade talks. President Trump is in the eye of the trade storm, and he is letting the world know he means business, and he is determined to get the best deal for the U.S. At the moment, investors aren't overly concerned about the state of play, but that doesn't mean they don't have a pain threshold, says David Madden, market analyst at CMC Markets. In UK corporate calendar there are full-year results from cable assembly maker Volax, African low-cost carrier, Fastjet and Brewer, and pub operator and brewer Fuller Smith. Sterling was marginally lower, quoted at 1.3419 United States dollars early Friday against 1.3449 United States dollars at the London equities close on Thursday. On the domestic political front, Theresa May pleaded with Tory rebels to get behind the Brexit legislation, insisting the UK has a bright future after leaving the European Union. The Prime Minister, who has been beset by problems over the Brexit process in recent days, said the UK could look forward to life after March 2019. The EU withdrawal bill returns to the Commons next week with crunch votes on the customs union, single market and Parliament say on the final Brexit deal. Before heading to the G7 summit in Canada, May held crisis talks with pro-EU Tories in an effort to avert a damaging revolt. In the economic events calendar there are Germany industrial production data at 0700 BST, UK consumer expectation figures at 10:30 BST, and US wholesale inventories at 1500 BST. In the US on Thursday, Wall Street ended mixed, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average ending up 0.4% BS. In China, the Shanghai Composite is down 1.4%, while the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong is down 1.4%. The Japanese economy shrank at an annualized rate of 0.6% in the January to March period for the first contraction in 9 quarters amid weak consumer spending, the government said Friday. The slowdown, which was unchanged from an initial estimate, was steeper than the average forecast of a 0.23% contraction by a Kyodo News survey. Consumer spending dipped 0.1% quarter-on-quarter, revised down from a preliminary reading of 0% estimated last month, the Cabinet Office said. Growth in corporate investment edged up 0.3%, revised up from an initial figure of a 0.1% contraction, while the value of exported goods and services grew 0.6%, unchanged from a preliminary reading, the office said. By Arvind Gunjan at AllianceNews.com. Copyright 2018 Alliance News Limited. All rights reserved.